a change of president in Bolivia doesn't just affect Bolivians; it has ripple effects across Latin America. So when Janine Áñez took over in 2019, Bolivia became much more pro-US. It broke ties with ALBA, which is the Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of Our America. That currently has 10 member states in Latin America and the Caribbean, and 2 observer states, which actually includes the Islamic Republic of Iran. Under Áñez, Bolivia recognized the comical Juan Guaido as the interim president of Venezuela. For those of you who I'm speaking to our viewers who happily forgot the existence of this chance, I regret that I had to say his name again. But I mean, that happened, of course. So, what does this actually mean for these other countries in Latin America, these intergovernmental organizations, and also, anti-imperialist countries like Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, who are or have been in alliance with a country like Bolivia?
Yeah, in terms of the region itself, if we go back a couple of years, you essentially have a situation in which a majority, well, uh, you know, a very large quantity of Latin America actually has governments of the left, very broadly speaking, of the left. Lula in Brazil, Fernandez in Argentina, Boric in Chile, Gustavo Petro in Colombia, AMLO in Mexico, numerous others, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua. And you can post these maps with, all of this red filled in, covering this vast sort of stretch of land. The reality is that this wave of the left, of left wing governments, has lost its momentum, especially when you compare it to the first pink tide, when the days of Hugo Chavez and Evo Morales and Rafael Correa, there was so much revolutionary energy at that time, and that translated into structural integration as well. A number of different, organizations of regional integration were created by those governments. UNASUR, and which was strengthened during this time, and ALBA, etc. And there was numerous sort of cooperation projects, investments between these countries to integrate their economies. We haven't seen that in this current wave. What we've seen, particularly, Chile and Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, is actually the presidents looking inwards. These governments looking inwards, firefighting domestic problems without having a wider international vision. And that has massively weakened the Latin American left. They no longer even really see each other. They no longer really even have summits where they meet each other. It's very rare. No cooperation projects, no cross-border investments that you saw in the first pink tide. And so I think this is a big reason for why these governments have been so weak, why these governments haven't been able to build the momentum behind themselves that their predecessors had. So I think we need to look at that. Just being very disappointing. Either when you consider the fact that countries like Brazil, Colombia, these are massive economies in the region, massively important strategic countries for Latin America, having governments of the left, but which have made very little to no effort really to build a kind of international movement between themselves, and they've only been focused on sort of firefighting domestic problems. So I think that a lack of international vision has been a weakness of the Latin American left in this stage of things.